Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I have heard that many of you are struggling with their WES applications and don't know exactly how to do that. Today we are going to cover every single thing. Whether you are applying for an education institution in United States or in Canada, or whether it's an immigration purpose thing, I will help you out in this video. So please stay tuned and please keep watching the entire video. I have broken down this entire video into different chapters, so please go and take a look at the chapter which resembles to what you are looking for, and that will probably help you out. And if you have any questions while going through this process, please make sure to comment down so I can help you out. So let's get started. WES is World Education Services, which is a non-profit organization which helps immigrants as well as students to help evaluate their existing education back in their home country and helps them in getting settled down in a new country. Okay, so now let's start by going into the website. You can select from the top left corner if you're applying for a institution in United States or in Canada. So for simplicity purpose, I'm selecting Canada right now, but I will also explain you the process of United States later down in this video. And if you're looking for that chapter, please go and click on that chapter right now. In case of Canada, we'll first click on sign in, and that's where you see the button to create an account. So we'll click on create an account here and we'll choose Canada. In this case, as we see, there are three sections when it comes to Canadian applications. The first one is WES standard application, which is needed for higher studies and continuing education, whether you want a license or an employment. It's basically the WES standard application. If your employer needs it, this is your way through. The second one is the ECA application for IRCC. This is specifically for immigration purpose, whether you are applying for a permanent residency or any other related documents you need to submit to IRCC. This is the part where you have to start your application. Third type of evaluation is the ECA application for Agri-Food pilot program, which is the new program started by the government of Canada. So if you are trying to do that, please go ahead and do that. But for simplicity purposes, I will go with the ECA application for IRCC, and I'm sure all the other applications would be very similar to this as well. Just make sure to follow through, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. So we'll start the application. We'll provide the email address, and then the verification code will come into your mail. Now this process is fairly simple. You have to create your account. So in this case, I'll just put down my information. So in this case, the WES reference number, you will only have a WES reference number if you are reapplying for anything. In this case, you do not have an account, you're doing it for the first time, that's when you do not have the WES number. But if you have at some point of time and you want to link to that application, just provide your WES number here. But I'll select no for now. So once you have created your account, you will have to start by providing more details about your account. And this is where I will spend most of my time in explaining you what exactly do you need when applying for the ECA. This is for the immigration purpose, but you can obviously follow same if you are submitting your application or doing your education evaluation for a university you're applying to. Let's go through this step by step. So what credentials have you earned? Only submit the highest completed degree for your ECA if it's been asked. In this case, this is specifically for the IRCC purpose. So if you have the doctorate or a PhD degree, then you do not need to submit your bachelor's or master's degree for evaluation. But let's say if you have a master's degree, then you do not need to submit your bachelor's degree for evaluation unless you are listed among your required documents. So this will come once you provide your university details from where you have completed your master's or what master's or bachelor's you have completed. Okay. If you have completed your bachelor's, you do not need to provide your higher secondary credentials for evaluation. This they're doing it just to save your time and money. Let's say if you are providing any additional details, you want to evaluate your bachelor's degree even though you have a master's degree, then you'll have to pay more because for each document you send for evaluation, you have to pay money. So here I will just provide my credential. I'll click on add credentials and I'll click on country. For example, let's say India education, it's a university education or a state board education. If it's a secondary education or a non-university post-graduation diploma, like a private college kind of education, right? So I'll select university education for now. Let's say you have like the bachelor's degree, master's degree, or doctoral program. We'll select bachelor's in this case for now. And the name given in your transcript or the certificate which you want to evaluate, right? So sometimes you have some affidavits done, but the name in the credential is different. You want to make sure that the name matches to your credential and not to what you have changed right now. Otherwise, they won't be able to evaluate your document. And it is clearly written here that the first name exactly as it appears in your credential, right? So I'll just say in the field of study. Here, the name of the diploma certificate, as you can see, it's what is given in the certificate. Sometimes you have studied an engineering, for example, but they want to give you some generic name in your certificate. You want to make sure that that name matches to this one, and the field of study is now exactly what you studied. So for example, I did like, okay, and that's it. So as you can see, my University of Bombay's Bachelor's of Computer Engineering has been added. I can always add another credential if I want to, and then they will let me know what the charges are for evaluating each of them. Just make sure that ECA report will not contain the following things which they have mentioned. Anything below secondary school education. They will not make sure that your primary or elementary school is not covered, of course, because it's not needed. The non-academic credentials, if you have done any training or courses, you cannot evaluate them. And the professional or career training qualifications. So if you have done any career coaching or anything which was a part of your professional development and not a part of your university or studies, it won't be covered. So now, if this video is helping you out so far, please give a like to this video. It helps me to create more videos like this in future. Let's go to the next section. In this section, we can see that what they're asking is to provide the information about the recipient. The first recipient is you, and you have to enter your current residential address. The copy of this WES credential report will be sent to your current address which you provide here. So let's say you are currently living in your hometown. Because I provided India, I'll just select the same thing and the delivery method. So now in this case, if you want to get it as fast as possible, you want to go through the international courier where you get like all the information about the tracking and other things. But if you want to go with the standard, just select Canada Post. It does come as well, just you don't get those fancy information around it. So I'll just select standard for now, making sure that Canada Post does not mean that you will receive in Canada. It's just a method of sending you the documents. Canada Post is obviously the government operated postal services, which is cheaper, so that's why the difference in the prices. And the institution receiving your report. So now in this case, because we have selected IRCC as the application, it is pre-filled as IRCC. So let's say if I want to add any other recipient. So in this case, what I need to do is I need to find out or search those recipients, and only the list of pre-approved recipients could be added in this case. And what they're saying, for each institution you add, you will be charged an additional fee of $32 plus the shipping and the handling charges in case if you need to send it to anywhere else. So yeah, that's all we need to know for now. After that, we'll just click on next, and this is the part where the information about the processing time is given and what is included in your package is given. In this case, the processing time, as they are saying, is around 35 business days, but you can expect to get this report somewhere between 15 to 20 business days. That's usual. Worst case scenario, it can go up to 35 business days. So after they have reviewed and approved your documents, then it will take around 35 business days to receive to you. Approval and reviewation of the document, that totally depends on your university. Sometimes they find it difficult to contact them, or sometimes it may take longer depending on the queue they have right now for reviews and approvals. Now the available evaluation package for this IRCC applications is basically this, where it covers the ECA report provided to you online for free in a PDF version, which is unofficial report, the ECA report accessible to the IRCC, the official paper report which will be sent to you, the electronic storage of your report and verified transcript for future use. So what happens here is they will save this report so you don't have to reapply for the same credential, and in future, let's say if you are applying for any other purposes and you want to evaluate this particular document, you can just pay the delivery charges and they will send it to the institution. So I'll just click on next. So now as you can see, the document checklist comes based on the university I have selected, based on the country I have selected, and based on what the requirement is from the WES side in order to evaluate this document, what the WES needs in order to evaluate this document. So for this Bachelor of Computer Engineering from University of Bombay, what they're saying is the IRCC asks applicants that only their highest completed degree is provided for the ECA, but make sure that if you have an Indian Master's or Indian Postgraduate Diploma, you must also provide the bachelor's degree documents. Okay, WES cannot complete an evaluation without these documents, but there are 5 different master's programs which are eligible. So if you have selected masters you want to evaluate, and if you fall under Masters of Education, Masters of Engineering, Master of Philosophy, Master of Technology, and Master of Computer Application, then you do not need to provide your bachelor's degree for evaluation, which is covering literally most of it, unless you are into the health sectors or any other sectors which are not covered in this case, right? So most of the tech is covered. So this is the most important information which you need to know as someone who is applying for the WES evaluation. Okay, just make sure that WES does not evaluate studies in Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, indigenous medical systems. Okay, also one other thing which they have not listed here is that WES does not evaluate some of the blacklisted universities. If I will find the list of those universities, I'll put it down in the description, so please check it out if you're not able to find your university while selecting the certificate on the first page. And now what your requirement checklist are, let's go through it. So the first thing is degree certificate. They need the final or the provincial degree certificate. This has to be a clear legible photocopy of the degree certificate. Now look at this, they do not need the original, right? They only need the photocopy of the certificate. You need to provide the statement of marks, which is university issued and attested. So this is basically a transcript, and the college will be issuing a transcript, and you need to provide them in the sealed copy. You'll have to contact your college or the university to send this document electronically to WES. If they are not able to do electronically to WES, then they will provide you probably the sealed copy of your transcript, and you will have to send it yourself to WES. So in this case, you will find your university's attestation page if they have proper valid follow-through process through WES. If they don't, then you'll have to figure it out. So to get this official transcript, generally they provide a step-by-step process on what happens with your college or university and how you should apply to get your transcript sent to WES. So let's say if your university does not have this online attestation page which you can follow through, then there is a generic form provided by WES which is called the Academic Records Request Form. Here you will have to provide the information and take it to your university, which they will further fill out by the authorized officials, and then they will send it to WES along with your official transcripts and degree certificate. The information which you need to fill out in this form is pretty simple. The WES reference number is something you will get once you complete your payment, so you need to fill out that and provide all your information. After that, you will have to go to the university and let them know that okay, you are an international student or you are applying for an IRCC immigration, and you need them to fill this out and send it to WES. Now a lot of time what happens is your university or college will tell you that okay, we don't do that, we will just fill out this form, but we will not send it on your behalf. In that case, you can just take the sealed envelope of your transcript, take this form stamped by the officials, and now you will have to be responsible to send these documents to the WES. But just make sure that the from address is from your university and not yourself. And if you have any other questions regarding this, please let me know in the comments. I'll be trying to help you out as much as possible. The documents checklist is also given here, so please follow through that. So as you can see in my case, it is provided how to send your documents. You'll have to contact your university and then select WES and follow the step-by-step process. Generally, you can send them by post mail or send them by the courier. If you want to send it by post mail, it will obviously take more time, but it will go to their PO box number. If you want to send it by courier, they're saying that they're accepting DHL, FedEx, UPS, those kind of couriers, and should not be delivered in person. So none of your friends or family members can just go to this WES office and deliver. Rather, it has to be sent through the courier services. And then we'll click on next. In this case, finally, we are reviewing all of our information to make sure that everything is correct. In this case, if you have provided masters and your education is not covered, then please make that change in your application. Do review everything properly to make sure that your total prices comes correctly. And then I'll click on all the check boxes, basically terms and conditions, verify my authenticity and stuff like that, confirming all the other information I need to, and then we'll click on submit. It will just show me the final page for paying the money. I can either select Western Union online money transfer, or I can select credit card or debit card. Make sure that your credit card or debit card does go through the international purchase in order to do this. I'll click on submit, and here I will basically complete my payment. And once my payment is complete, then I will be able to upload my documents onto the website. Okay, so now let's fill out the WES Education Credential Evaluation for United States institution. So I will go into the create an account page here, and I'll select United States, and I'll provide my email address. Now once your account is verified, we'll continue, and then we'll create an account. I'll provide my details here. So So in this case, the WES number is something which you will only get when you have the account already created. But right now you're doing it for the first time, so you will not have it and will not do anything here. So we'll just say no. And we'll create an account. So now once your account is created, you can now fill out the rest of the information. The first one is how did you hear about the WES? You can just say family or friends, whatever. Now we'll go with the rest of the sections. And now here you can see the report purpose. So you can select whether you want to go ahead with the education, whether you want to send it to an institution, whether it's for the professional license, whether it's for your employment check, whether it's for the immigration or any other purposes, right? So we'll select education for now, but remember that you can use it for any other purposes as well. So we'll select the education, we'll select what the level of education is. It's for the graduate admissions, for example. And what credentials have you earned? So you'll have to provide all the information about the credential which you want to verify. So let's say I want to verify my bachelor's degree, university education, and we'll provide the information. Now remember, if your name is changed after you have earned this degree, still you'll have to make sure that your name matches same as that of certificate or your diploma, right? So the name of the diploma or certificate has to be exactly same as what is written in it, as well as your name. And you can add as many as you want to evaluate. So in this case, it totally depends on what you're applying for. If you're applying for education, you'll have to provide your higher education credentials for analysis. Your secondary school credentials are not required in that case, right? So we'll just go on next in this case. And recipient section, here the first recipient is you, so they will send a report to you. And the second is the institution, where you'll have to select what institutions do you want to send these reports to. So we'll select your address, for example. And the delivery method could be standard delivery, which is by postal, which will be probably the government postal, which will be cheaper, and international courier will be private couriers like DHL and FedEx, which will be expensive. So I'll just select standard for now. And now the second recipient is actually the institutions where you want to send the reports, right? So you can select any institution, for example. So in this case, for example, I want to select Arizona University. I just clicked on Arizona and shows me all the universities, and I can just select on which universities or college I want to apply to and the department to which I want to send. So let's say graduate college, graduate admission services, and now attestation to. So attestations could be the name of the department or the name of the person you are sending it to, right? So just say the name of the department is and the delivery method could be the standard delivery. If you want to send it to them within 3 to 5 business days after the processing is done, then you could do it that, and overnight courier could be as well. So I just select add recipients, and I can add as many universities as I want to, depending on where I'm applying to, and I can just click on next. And what they are saying is the standard processing time to receive a completed WES evaluation report is 7 business days after they have received your application, they have reviewed it, and they have also approved all the documents, and the payment also is completed, right? So the primary purpose of this evaluation is for education and graduate admissions, as they have mentioned. So they have 2 types of evaluation. The first one is course by course evaluation, and the second one is the document by document evaluation, right? So the prices are different based on those. If you're going through document by document evaluation, you'll have to go select this. And if you're going to go with the course by course evaluation, which most of the universities need, then you will have to go through the course by course evaluation. So I'll just select course by course evaluation here. Now here you can go through 2 routes. The first one is the WES Basic, which is $170, and the second one is WES ICAP, which they are recommending, which is $270. So the reason why they are charging a little more here is because they will store your transcripts in their database, which are already evaluated, and in future, let's say if you're applying to any other universities, you can directly send them your already approved through WES without having to wait for the entire evaluation again. We'll just click on next, and it provides me all the information I need in order to complete the requirements of sending them the document. So a lot of time, let's say if you have done your diploma and you have directly entered into the second year of your bachelor's, then you'll have to provide your diploma as well, is what they are asking for. WES only accepts documents issued and attested by the designated official at an institutions that conducted the examination and not anywhere else, right? And they are not evaluating studies under Ayurveda, Unani, and Siddha indigenous medical systems. The requirement checklist here are pretty obvious. You would need to send the degree certificate. This has to be a clear photocopy of your final degree certificate. Statement of marks is basically your transcript. This has to be an official document sent through your university. And if your university does not have an attestation page like what's been provided here, then there is a generic attestation form called Academic Records Request Form, which you will have to fill up. The WES reference number is basically the reference number which you get after you submit the payment, which you'll have to enter here, provide all your details here, sign it. Now go to your university or your college, give it to the authorized officials and let them fill up all the other details and ask them to send it. So for the people who are not sure what the Academic Records Request Form is, I'm providing the link in the description, so please go through that, read through it, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Your university is either going to send WES the electronic copy or the physical copy, right? If they are doing the electronic copy, they already know the process, what to do, they'll do it for you. And let's say they are not doing it and they're only providing you with the sealed transcripts, and in that case you will have to send it. Just make sure that this form is completely filled and stamped by the officials, and then you'll have to courier it to the WES yourself. So in that case, you'll have to send the document either by postal mail or by courier. Postal mail is taking more time generally but cheaper. Courier probably would be faster but will be probably a little expensive for you. And they accept DHL, FedEx, UPS, etc. If you're sending it through courier, you should not be sending the documents in person. Okay, so in this case, just make sure that if you are sending it yourself, the address of from address on the transcript is from the university and not yourself. Just will click on next now and we'll review all the details. Just make sure that everything is correct and we'll click on next. And now finally shows me the payment information, which is the ICAP charges, the additional copy I have requested, the standard delivery charges, and the UPS charges for sending the document. So I'll just select credit card and debit card, and finally I'll make the purchase. So I'll put all the information here and that's it. So here, no matter what you're doing, whether it's for education or whether it's for immigration or whether it's for your employment purposes, I'm sure that this video probably covers most of those scenarios because the information is pretty much same. You are trying to get your education credentials evaluated to make sure you get those points or your eligibility to further pursue your next step in your journey. If you want to know 9 different easy ways on how you can immigrate in Canada through the government of Ontario, check out this video. So thank you very much and we'll see you in the next one.